My name is Tracy Vell. I'm your host, and I am a contributing editor with Florida Realtor Magazine. I also host the Real Trending podcast from Housing Wire. And today I have Burton Kelso. He is the owner and chief technology expert at Integral in Kansas City. So welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yes, this is awesome.
So we're going to talk all things cybersecurity, and we really want to dig into AI specifically. So real estate professionals, we know with wire fraud and everything, they're prime targets for cybercrime. So what are the AI-based cybercrime threats that you're seeing right now?
Well, when we talk about cybercrime, we have to express that cybercrime is a human problem. Mm-hmm. And so every device that every realtor owns is immune to a cyber attack, meaning that no one's going to break into your phone or no one's going to break into your computer. Mm-hmm. It's criminals tricking you to falling for a phishing scheme in order to get access to your information. So when we talk about cybercrime and AI, we're talking about AI-based threats that are targeted to allow criminals to imitate realtors using AI, and also, since they're based overseas, it allows them to use correct grammar. So you don't see phishing emails with misspelled words or just incorrect sentence structure. So AI has definitely changed the game, making it easier for criminals to attack real estate agents.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the perfect time for me to listen because I just received an email and a letter in the mail from U.S. Bank saying that I've been approved. My application was approved for a business checking account, which I had never opened. So what are some real world examples of how cyber criminals are using AI to target individuals?
You'll love this. It's not real estate related, but it gives you a good example. So a couple of years ago, the MGM Grand was hacked in Las Vegas. And the way that worked is criminals did not break into the computers at the MGM Grand. What they did is they got on LinkedIn, which obviously a lot of realtors use, and they found out who the HR manager was for the MGM Grand. Once they did that, they called the office, cloned the voice of the HR manager. Then they called the office with the cloned HR manager's voice and were able to get the username and passwords to log into the MGM Grand network. Once that was done, they were able to install ransomware, and of course it affected all of the computers across Las Vegas for the MGM Grand property. So that's how it works. Again, it's not criminals breaking into stuff.
Right.
It's criminals tricking people to giving up important information to do the nefarious things that they do. Same thing with wire fraud. You get a phishing email, the buyer seller does, and then they think that they're supposed to wire money to a specific account, and it goes to the criminal as opposed to the actual title company.
Yeah, that's a big problem in real estate. So we talked about a recent attack like the MGM, and I'm also hearing a lot about voice cloning and deepfakes, which is exactly what they did. So how can those AI-generated impersonations kind of take advantage of agents, and how can they protect themselves against that?
Well, one of the things where we're talking about real world examples, I'm going to go take a step back.
Okay.
Social media accounts are used by criminals in order to commandeer realtors who have a large following, and they are able to extract cryptocurrency from unsuspecting people. So it's not always the wire fraud that's done directly with email. It's also through social media, and those are some great real-world examples of how criminals are taking advantage of realtors, using their followers to make money, whether it be crypto or sometimes they will promote other products under that realtor's banner. So realtors need to make sure that they're protecting their social media accounts to make sure that they're not commandeered. But what was your...
I was going to say, how can they protect themselves? Obviously, two-factor authentication, but what are some other ways?
So one of the best ways to protect yourself from a cyber scam is to, number one, make sure that your information isn't floating on the dark web. There are websites like haveibeenpwned.com that allow you to go to the website and ensure that your information isn't floating around on the dark web. Because criminals can go into like social media accounts and email accounts, because unfortunately, real estate agents use free accounts like AOL and Gmail, and they're able to get the credentials to log into those accounts, and once they're in, they're able to steal correspondence back and forth and come in as a third party to trick buyers and sellers to giving out their information. So number one is to be vigilant. You mentioned the second one, which is to turn on two-step or two-factor authentication.
Right.
But the third way, and kind of the fourth way, is to stop using passwords and use passphrases instead. Passphrases are two unrelated words that create a secure password, meaning that you would put together words like stinky chicken or fluffy rhinoceros, or even like maybe squeaky dog. And those passphrases are more secure than just using a standard password. If you use your standard 8-character password, it could take a criminal less than 3 hours to break into your account. But with a passphrase, you're talking centuries before a criminal can actually get access to your online accounts and your social media. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is that?
Well, it's because they have utilities, meaning the cyber criminals, that can go in and like figure out passwords like within seconds. And so if you just have random numbers, then it's easy to go through and put together random numbers using an algorithm or even AI to log into that account using just a random word password. But with a passphrase, since it's two unrelated phrases, it's longer for criminals to get that algorithm to figure out what the passphrase is in order to get into that online account.
Even if you have like letters, numbers, symbols?
It doesn't matter.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why passphrases are good. Another thing I was going to suggest for realtors to invest in is to start using pass keys. And pass key is essentially biometric. So your login for your laptop or your phone is either tied into your fingerprint or your face. And so a pass key allows it to not only allow you to log into your device, but you can also log into online accounts too, such as not Facebook, but LinkedIn has that ability. QuickBooks Online has that ability. And even if you use a free or a paid Gmail account, you can use a pass key to log in as opposed to just using a standard password. And biometrics are more secure than just typing in something in, because it's part of your body.
That's interesting.
Unless someone takes your finger off, then they're not getting into your online account, right?
I'm going to have to change my passwords now.
Yes, you are. Start using passphrases instead of passwords, right?
Definitely. So AI is making phishing and spear phishing more convincing and harder to detect for real estate professionals. How are they doing that?
Well, under normal circumstances, your legitimate AI tools such as ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and Gemini don't allow you to put the prompt in, hey, can you create the perfect phishing email? But criminals have their own large language models like Fraud GPT and like Scam GPT that are designed to help criminals come up with different ways that they can trick realtors into giving up their personal information. So people think, oh, ChatGPT's evil. No, the companies that make those products don't want cyber criminals to take advantage of AI. But criminals themselves are smart enough to make their own chatbots that are designed to trick people into giving up their personal information. So it's as easy as it is for a real estate agent to go in to make a listing with AI. Criminals can make a scam email using AI as well.
Well, and the one thing I just learned because of this business checking is that I have credit freezes on my name, my husband's name, my kids' names, and I don't have one on, well, I do now, but I didn't have one on my business name. And I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right.
So obviously it's something good to have, right?
Well, credit freeze is always good if you think that your information's been leaked onto the dark web. So if you go to a website like Have I Been Pwned, and you know that personal information has been linked, such as government IDs, passwords, addresses, then you know that in order to protect yourself, you do have to put a freeze on your personal credit. But if your business credentials start leaking onto the dark web, then obviously a business freeze is a good thing for real estate agents to do as well.
Well, it had to be my business credentials because they opened it in my business name.
Can you believe that doing a credit freeze is probably one of the top things that you can do in order to protect your accounts from fraud? A lot of people think that you have to get LifeLock or any other credit monitoring tools, but just freezing your credit, that's one of the best things to do to keep yourself safe from hackers.
And I was told that I should do all three of the credit
bureaus.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. You're good. Yes.
So that was interesting advice too from the bank that.
Right, and so the thing about using all three credit bureaus is the fact that when you run a credit report, you're getting a free report because you can run one credit bureau every quarter. Because you get one free report every quarter. So if you keep on top of all three bureaus, then it just is a way for you to save some money. But at the same time, making sure that all of your online accounts are safe and secure.
Absolutely. So once you're hacked, recovery in a lot of cases can be brutal. So what steps should agents take today to secure their social accounts? We talked a little bit about this, but,
right.
TikTok, all of that, so they're not frequent targets.
Right. So again, with social media, again, to make sure that all of your accounts are secured, you've got to make sure that your information isn't floating around on the dark web. Because in this crazy real estate game that we're in, it's hard to keep track of when you changed the password last for social media, email, or even your website, because a lot of real estate agents are using site builder tools like Wix and Squarespace in order to build websites. So in order to protect your brand, first make sure that your information isn't floating around on the dark web. If it is, you need to go in and change the passwords for all of your accounts immediately. And I shouldn't say passwords, passphrases.
Yes.
And make sure that each passphrase each passphrase is different for each of your online accounts, because obviously some realtors, I'm not going to mention any names, use the same username and password for all of their logins, so you can't do that. But the main thing is just to be vigilant, build up your personal firewall and understand how to recognize a phishing email that comes in, and how to make sure that your online accounts are secure with two-factor authentication. Make sure that you're using passkeys, but then also make sure that you are aware of all of the scams that are currently going on. Like there's wire fraud scams, so obviously realtors need to be letting their buyers and sellers know that these scams are going on, but also just understand that your devices can't be hacked. Because sometimes there will be a message that pops up on your phone or your computer that says you've been hacked, and it's scare tactics and social engineering that gets you to give out personal information that will get your accounts hacked. So building your human firewall is probably one of the best things to do, and making sure that you know how to spot a scam and changing your login credentials on a regular basis is the best way to stay safe.
So a lot of realtors will do work out in the field, and they'll log into like Starbucks Wi-Fi and that. I use a VPN.
Right.
Do you suggest a VPN? Are there other things they should be doing?
Oh, all my cybersecurity friends are going to shoot me. With Wi-Fi, the important thing is to remember if you're connecting to the right Wi-Fi. So if you're at an airport, you need to make sure you're connecting to the official airport Wi-Fi rather than just any random free Wi-Fi that pops up. Because you can do it, but again, if it's a legitimate one, then you're not going to run into any trouble because they're not monitoring your stuff. But if you go to, like, say, the library, no one hangs out at the library, and it's not hacker haven, so you could easily connect to the library's Wi-Fi and not worry about anything. But obviously, using a VPN is not a bad idea. Also, the ultimate protection would be to use your phone's mobile hotspot in order to ensure that no one's going to get your information. And I think that's the best choice as opposed to using a VPN. Because sometimes VPNs will slow down your internet connection. But if you use your phone's hotspot, you're going to get faster speed, and obviously in this world of real estate that way, and the quicker you can get information, the better off you are. But as far as your mobile hotspot, it's virtually impossible for a criminal to intercept your mobile hotspot signal, because from your mobile phone to your carrier, it's just a direct connection. So criminals would have to hack the entire network to get to your device, as opposed to just logging into like a Wi-Fi and then getting to your device. But the other thing too with Wi-Fi, most phones and computers aren't sharing their personal folders. So even if you were on a Wi-Fi hotspot with the criminal, then they probably wouldn't be able to see the information on your device. They may be able to see what websites you visit, but they don't necessarily see all that important information.
So they can't see if you log into a website when you're there.
They'll see the website, but they may not necessarily get the login credentials. But if you're connected to a criminal's Wi-Fi, it's easier for them to send out like a pop-up or a text alert. So wouldn't recommend it, but if you're in a pinch and you've got to do something that's non-critical, then do it.
And are there any AI-based tools that can help you monitor this? And is it Have I Been Cloned, like CLONED?
It's Have I Been Pwned, PWNED.com.
PW.
Pwned is like a hacker or gamer code for you've been owned.
You didn't know that.
I know, right? Yeah. But as far as AI tools, no, other than antivirus software. But the thing that most realtors should know about antivirus software It's built into most devices. So Apple devices already have antivirus software built in, so it'll pop up and let you know that, if there's something nefarious going on. Same thing with Windows computers, and smartphone and tablets are really designed not to allow anybody in. It's more about building up your human firewall that's going to keep you safe rather than some AI tool that is going to monitor and make sure that you're safe from hacks and attacks.
Great. I'm asking these questions for me as well as the audience.
I figured you were, yeah. Most people do.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you joining our live today and doing a Take 5 video. Tune in tomorrow for our next live interview. Starts at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and we have a full day of great content for you.